What up? How's your spirit? This one's to the homies in the gang culture, real quick. Tell the people to go F themselves. I'm pretty sure y'all are tired of hearing about how y'all don't ever look out for the homies when ish happens to them, right? When they get shot, when, they go to jail, when, they got a family member that passed away or whatever, that y'all don't be there for each other, that y'all don't really give a ish, this, that, or the third. But how can that be true? If we also be hearing about y'all fighting at the funeral, showing up at the baby mama house, making it uncomfortable for the next man. Two things can be true, but one is a lie on the other. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you become someone who commits crimes and goes to prison and or jail, there's a good chance that people are going to leave you out. Simultaneously, from what I understand of the people who choose to be affiliated, they have given up other affiliations for that to be their family. So, in essence, what we're hearing are their former family members feeling some type of way about them choosing another family. Now, I've said several times that people can be out here in the streets, not be gang affiliated. They may even be affiliated. But they're affiliated because they understand that there are other people out here in the streets who are trying to do harm to the community. And they've come together as a group of people, a militia, to protect their homes and their community, which they have the absolute right to do. They have the right to bear arms and protect their homes and their families. We only call them a gang because of the way that they look, the number of them, and the fact that they didn't serve their country, so to speak. But if they're protecting your neighborhood from the terrorists you didn't even recognize you were letting in your house, maybe you shouldn't hate on them for clout. It's just a thought. And please don't think that I love on them for clout. It is an homage to a family member of mine and to a forgotten piece of our history. There was a time when all we had were what they call gang members to take care of the community. They provided the turkeys and crap for churches and whatnot when the civil rights movement pulled out, so to speak. They were there for the community. Maybe you didn't like their tactics. They were governing and policing their community. It's something I think that we just need to consider. They had a hierarchy. They showed loyalty. That counts for something. We've criminalized a lot of things in this country. Hanging out with people. But let's just be honest. Birds of a feather flock together, da 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 da. Guilt by association. That's what organized crime is. By any other means, it's guilt by association. Can't say that in light of my own circumstances, I don't see the number of people who are simply guilty because they associated with the people who came against me. Down here on the street, though, I did my best to keep it peace, to be humble, to maintain my humility. Because these are the people that I come from. At any moment, they could be me or I could be them. People don't know my story. They hear what I say on the internet, and depends on which video, what they finally know or get to know. The truth is, I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. We were on food stamps and whatnot when I was a child. I didn't know that we didn't have money. Like I said, everybody around me owned their home. So I didn't know we were without means. Until I got older. Married into the military, we had the same issues. People expected us to show up and show out for them every time that we were able to get 2 weeks together as a family. To either pay for them to come and visit or for us to pay to come and visit them. It was too much. The point of it is, though, I pretty much came from nothing, like everybody else, and I made it to $75,000 a year as a culinarian in 7 years. That's great. It's great. It's just not who I am as a person. Who I am as a person is the woman who decided not to go back to that career field, to take a pay cut into poverty, so that I could help end homelessness and poverty in this country and around the world. That hasn't changed, despite my human rights being violated and my civil rights. That hasn't changed despite it being the people on the street who have often come for me. That I chalk up to emotional literacy. Because the people on the street understand money. What it's meant for. That it's a means to an end. It's not the end all be all of things. I like the people who have money. They think that their money's gonna save them. Or that it's all that they need. It's kind of crazy to me. Money buys loyalty at the price that you can pay. One of my favorite TV shows, obviously, is Game of Thrones. It's a character, the sellsword, by the name of Bronn. Bronn sells his sword to Tyrion. And in the end, he has to decide whether it's going to turn on Tyrion. When money moves a mercenary, and you run out of money, what happens between you and that mercenary? Have you built enough trust, friendship, loyalty, respect that no one else can pay that mercenary to turn on you? Will they one day say your money is no good here? If you can't guarantee that, maybe you shouldn't be getting into a life where you need a mercenary. So let's say this. I continue to call the people who support me in my belief that there's a different way of going about this. Janissaries, emissaries, and ambassadors. I've never paid them a dime. I've never asked them to commit a crime. Anyone who says that they have done anything has done so by their own choice, by understanding that we, the people, have a voice. And for the first time in history, we are choosing to use our bully pulpit, our ability to come together as a people and speak truth to power, however we choose to go about it. You can't be a civil rights leader in this country and not go through something. I've been through many a thing. I suppose the Most High God figured this was enough to let you know that I've been through something. My ability to articulate it, is what makes me different. The human condition, writ large, is complex PTSD with dissociative identity disorder. The average American human today has disassociated from the world around them. They know what's happening, and they're trapped in the belief that they can't do anything. That's lock syndrome. By any other name, paralysis of the mind. Paralyzed in the fear they can't get themselves out of here. Out of the situations that they have put themselves in. It's fear. Why are gang members vilified? Fear. Those who aren't affiliated can't get beyond the lack of fear in those who are. Or those who lack fear. Because I'm not affiliated. I'm also not afraid of anything. That's hard for people to believe. You die out here. See whether or not you exhibit fear. For some, it's just shortly after the death experience where they feel alive and exuberant, and it doesn't last that long. So they go to seeking that feeling in a high. For me, I recognize that was the God inside of me. So I keep that light burning. And I stay at peace with weed. It's a mood stabilizer. It's God's medicine to man. This is why my business is cannabis community outreach. I use cannabis to reach out to the community. The people who are locked in fear. See, the thing is I understand cannabis, so I can use it differently out here. I can recognize in someone what they're going through, and I can say, hey, you, cannabis can work for you, and here's how. you're uptight and stressed, you need what they call an indica dominant strain. What I will say is something more purple, dark green, and preferably with a fair bit of myrcene and pepper something. I can't remember it. Those are the terpenes. They now put terpenes on the labels of strains when you purchase them. We know that the difference between the amount of THC and the terpenes each will tell you how you will feel when you heal or use it to heal. We know that if you simply inhale a strain, you can determine whether or not it will relieve your pain, adjust your mood, wake you up. Just that's aromatherapy. So if you then smoke, inhale, and ingest it, along with the terpenes by way of other foods, then you have holistically healed yourself, so to speak. It's marijuana magic, I guess. That's why God chose me and a marijuana ministry. Believe it or not, I have always believed that cannabis could heal. My mother passed away of stomach cancer in 1996. I believe that she had cannabis. She would have lived longer. She would have been able to eat. She may have survived things. But the family gave her shark fin soup. When I got my cancer diagnosis, they want me to have diatomaceous earth. I chose weed. It's worked for me. I stayed alive all this time. I haven't died. Well, that one time I died. Outside of that, That was my heart. My heart was taxed, tired, and it gave out. From which I have also recovered. You can't recover from a giant heart, so to speak. Yet I regulate my blood pressure by use of cannabis and breathing. The easiest is the breathing technique. Just inhale, hold it in, push down, and it should bring down your blood pressure. Coffee will open up your arteries and help you to a degree, although it is a stimulant. You have to be mindful of these things. I don't hold a doctorate. I have a culinary degree. In my culinary degree, I have to know all of these things. Culinarians should be paid a lot more. They're kind of like the world's first line of defense when you think about how many people eat out these days and don't cook. When y'all get sick, y'all damn sure want to come and do something about it. Anyway. The entire point of this being, quit judging books by old covers, written by others. Good Times, written by white guys. Quit holding us to that matrix, to that model. That's who they want us to be. Yet, is that who we are actually? Are black people just a bunch of gang members listening to rap music and shooting up the local corner store or your daughter's club? Are white people just hillbillies with attitude? Are natives a thing of the past? Who's supposed to represent all of that? How do you represent all of that? Why not just be that? Why not just be anything you want to be? Just be. Don't identify as something. Don't represent for something. Don't just be. Be the culture you want to see in the world. That's an upgrade. It used to be. Be the change. Be the culture you want to see in the world. Bring that into fruition. Pardon me. It's a full moon, and there's a part of me that's gonna miss the vampire look when I fix my teeth. There's a part of me that's gonna be me. It's a funny thing. I was once asked if I would get my teeth fixed, and I was like, duh. And I said, the only thing that I want, though, is at 11, I chipped my tooth on a water fountain. And I want that chip back. I didn't lose my teeth until, recently. Once I got Tucson, I believe. Really. The chip tooth was the first one to go. But anyway, the point being, I'm gonna be a little bit froggy on a Friday into Saturday here. The man I want didn't give two shits about whether or not I got my teeth. Most men in the world have considered the idea of what we all think that they only get on their birthday and holidays. Have considered getting one of those from someone without teeth, so to speak. Why you think your aunties and grannies be getting it and you don't think they be getting it? You're judging by the wrong metric. Well, anyway, just thought I'd drop that out there before I get out of here. Having this bucket of ice right here made me think about that ALS challenge. The number of people who think I'm not qualified to do something because I don't have a degree, that's the reason that it irritates me. I've supported military spouses through ALS diagnoses, brain cancer, breast cancer, the loss of family members, the loss of soldiers downrange, the loss of soldiers at home under stupid circumstances. I've gotten soldiers to turn themselves in after being AWOL. I've gotten college students to stop hiding and drinking in closets. I've helped classmates admit to pill addictions and seek assistance. Yes, my lived experiences are absolutely why I'm good at this. And the reason why I don't need letters behind my name to validate me in this. That, and I volunteered to join AmeriCorps. I raised my right hand and took an oath to protect this country against terrorists, foreign and domestic. I did it because it was the only way I could serve my country, or continue to at least. I wanted to join the Army when I was 18. My stepfather told me I had no discipline. I had the discipline to survive death. And look at me now. Look at that. I went from barely being able to hold a 5-pound plate of food consistently to being able to carry 100 pounds on me without falling. That's an accomplishment. Post-traumatic brain injury and death. In the first 6 months to a year, it's the most critical time. I knew I'd end up outside. All I ever asked God was to allow me to be healthy enough to do it. I made it. I made it. I'm grateful and I'm thankful. If I can do it, you can do it. Plenty of healthy food. Plenty of exercise. Plenty of rest. Do your best. It's one of those few times when best is the right word. Yours. And then the next day, do 1% better. Sometimes just 1% is enough. The state of the economy. Sometimes 1% is all you need. Anyway, I want to get out of here. Keep your spirit up. I'll see you in the streets. Peace.